lift tall, and just have a little look behind you. So you've got a little bit of pressure through this left hand, just gently, gently, gently pushing you. Remember that none of this should be forced. So there's no strain, there's no force, there's no push. So if you literally get to here, you can pop your hand on your knee and you can look in that direction. We just want to get as much rotation that is comfortable for you, that you can breathe easy as you're doing these movements. So rotating and then coming back to center. And then we'll go in the other direction. So left hand towards the back of the chair, right hand on the side of the chair or on the knee if that works better for you. And then just have a little look behind. Come back to center. When we get to center, it's almost like a little bit of a reset. So it's relax the shoulders, maybe give the shoulders a little bit of a wiggle, lift from the crown. Let's go back to our right. Just have a little look behind. And then back to center. When you come back to center, you can just rest both hands on the thighs. Let's go to the left. Let's have a little look around. Back to center. Do one more each side. Go to the right. Back to center. Go to the left. Back to center. And just take a moment's rest there. You may notice that one side is easier than the other. A couple of things to watch out for when we're doing this movement is watch that when you rotate that you don't collapse down on that side, because it's quite common maybe just to collapse down and sort of like crane your neck to look around. So it's not about collapsing down and craning the neck. You really want to keep tall through the spine. So as I say, even if we just get to there, that's perfect. That's the whole point of the practice that we're doing at the moment. It's not about following exactly what I'm doing or getting exactly the same range of motion that I'm getting or anybody else, if you're watching on Zoom, is getting. It's about what is comfortable for you and what is easily manageable with the breath. So with that in mind, let's bring breath into that movement. So we start sitting on your sits bones, nice and tall through the spine, shoulders relaxed. Breath in through the nose. Let's go to the right, and we go to the right as we breathe out. Now we can breathe out with a sort of like a candle's breath, so you can just blow out. And then breathe in as you come back to center. Breathe in. And then other side. Breathe out. Breathe in as you come back to center. And breathe out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in, just light breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. And then take a moment's rest there. Good, looks good. Remember with the breath that we're not pulling loads and loads of air into the lungs. So you most probably can't hear that breath in. It's nice breath in and then breath out as you rotate. So it's not over breathing. Again, it's not forcing. It's just nice and gentle and easeful and sort of like expanding as you rotate around the spine. Good. We've done rotation. Let's do a little bit of extension and flexion. We've done this practice standing, so we can do it quite easily again in a sitting posture. Start off, sits bones, feet on the ground, nice and tall through the spine. Bringing the arms up to the side. And they're a little bit in front of you as well. And then just go to the point where you are comfortable. If you can get the palms crossed, cross the palms. And just give a little press in the palms there. And then bring the arms back down. Now again, this is often, it looks quite an easy movement, but this is often quite challenging. So what I don't want is any tightness in the shoulders or any strain. So it might be that some people just get to here. That is absolutely fine. So it's going to that point where you are comfortable. If you can get a little bit higher, that's fine. If you can bring the hands up together and just press the palms together, that's absolutely fine too. And then back down. If we go with the breath, you do breath in. A little bit of a press of the palms there, a little pause of the breath, breath out. Breath in. Just press the palms together, breath out. Let's do one more, breath in. Breath out. And just take a rest there. Again, really emphasize that it's not about forcing. So if you can just comfortably get to here, that's absolutely fine. Or if that's a little bit of a struggle, just bring the palms, just lift the arms up. So you can just do breath in and breath out. We just want to get a little bit of work through the shoulders. So you could do breath in and breath out. And the other thing to watch for, I'll just show you this from the side, is as you come up, your arms are a little bit in front of you there, but watch that we're not hiking the ribs back or pulling the ribs forward. So keep as tall as you can through the spine. So just go to that comfortable place within the shoulders, and then that little bit of a press, and then the breath out. So you almost just want to keep that upper body or the thoracic cavity pretty stable. There's an extension, there is a little bit of extension there through the thoracic spine. But as I say, if you get to here or here, that's absolutely fine. We're just aiming to get some movement in here into the shoulders, into the back there, and get a little bit of openness here through the ribs as well. Also get the rib cage expanding there. So if we take that one step further, get yourself comfy, check in, and we'll do breath in, get to your comfortable point, and then we'll do a little bit of lateral movement. So we go side to side, side to side, and then come back down. Breath out. Breath in. Keep that breath coming in. Breath in, in, back down. Let's go again. Breath in. And breath in. And breath out. And just take a rest there for a moment. With this one again, it's about keeping that nice length through the spine. So when you're doing that lateral, what is called lateral flexion, you're taking this hip, sorry, that's not a hip, that's a rib. You are taking this lower rib towards your hip. So it's almost like if you had a lemon there, so you had a lemon or an orange in your right hand side there, you're squeezing that side, so you're squeezing that down, and then when you come here you're squeezing that down, but then we've got that length through the back of the body, so you're squeezing, and then back down. If it's a challenge to get the arms that high, again, if we just get to here and then do squeeze, 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 back down. Or another alternative that you can do for that is arms come up and then you reach, reach, reach. So you're getting that little bit of a squeeze at that side, but I'm reaching through this side as well. So that's a nice little alternative to it. And it's almost like the same when you're there. So you can do reach and squeeze, reach and squeeze, and then back down. We very, very rarely, modern day life is designed so that everything's at this level for us and we have to do the least amount possible. So when was the last time we actually reached up to put something on a shelf, or reached up to take something down, or reached up to clean something? We don't often go into this position here. So it's great, particularly as we get older, just to get some of that movement of the upper body. Because if we become tight here, in the neck and the thoracic spine, it transfers down the body, so we get tight again in the lumbar spine as well. So quite often a lot of problems with the lower back and hips and everything can be helped by just getting some mobilization in this thoracic spine, the upper body, the upper spine here. So really do keep those practices going. Sitting there, just reaching up, a little bit of a lean. You can do that if you're working at a desk every so often. So that's very similar to what we're doing when we are doing our standing mobilization. The benefit actually of sitting is it takes the hips out of the equation. So if we have the hips in there, you notice that you can look a little bit further behind you because you've got that rotation through the pelvis and the hips. When we're on a seat, you don't get that, so you are literally just getting that rotation through the spine. So in a way it's good to do this, it's almost better to do this sitting sometimes to get that spine rotation. So we've done our mobilization. Now let's do a couple of flows, Qigong flows, that work for the metal element. So in our 5-element practice, we have metal, we have water, we have wood, we have fire, and we have earth. And we did through our 5-element flow last week. We practiced those 5 elements. Now you can just work on 1 element or 2 elements. You don't have to do a full sequence of those 5 elements. Metal is focused on bringing energy into the body. And the first place we bring energy into the body is through our breath. So I'll give you 2 practices. There are 2 flow practices that you can do which really focuses on the breath. And we can do these both very comfortably sitting down. So the first one, bring the arms up to the side. So you just float your arms up to the side. The palms are facing down to the ground. And then you rotate your palms. So you rotate your palms so they're facing now upwards up to the sky. You then connect thumb and first finger. So I'm connecting my thumb, first finger, connecting thumb and first finger. And then when I've got thumb and first finger connected, I'm bringing my arms in front of me. So they're coming in front of my body. And then I'm bringing my palms towards the ground, floating the arms out, rotating palms upwards, connecting thumb and first finger, bringing them back to center. Rotate. So it's a bit like you're flying. You extend and open up, lengthen the spine, open up the chest, and then connect, soften, contract, expand and open up, lift through the crown, soften and contract. Let's do 2 more, just working on this physical movement, expanding, opening up, softening and contracting. And then just let the palms rest on the thighs. The idea with the flow practice, very much what we're doing now, a flow, is that the breath guides the movement. So it's almost like we do our mobilization to get the energy moving in the body, and then we allow the energy to move the body. So that's the subtle difference between warm-up, mobilization, and then actually when we go into a flow practice. So you might say, yeah, that was really easy. It was really not much effort going on there, but you really felt it in the shoulders. So it might be that you just do 2 or 3 of those before it starts becoming really, really challenging. If it becomes too challenging, then you just stop at that point, because the breath is guiding the movement. And obviously, the more you practice this, the more you'll be able to sustain that flow. And the more you sustain the flow, the more you get into sort of like that meditative state, and you start to really feel the energy working through the body. So let's practice that one again with the breath in terms of guiding that movement. So arms come up to the side, palms face up, and this is a breath out. So we connect thumb and index finger, breath out. When we go into flow, all the breath is in and out through the nose. So breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in. Palms face up, fingers connect, breath out. Let's do 2 more. Breath in. Breath out. And breath in. And breath out. And then rest the palms on the thighs. If that, as I say, if that becomes really challenging, then what you can do is you can just breathe easy. Just breathe easy in and out through the nose. If that's too long a breath in and too long a breath out, and you speed it to move with the breath, you have to speed the movement up, then just breathe easy. So don't worry about whether you're breathing in or whether you're breathing out on each of those movements. But what you most probably will find is the more you get into it, the more the breath can work for you. So you can really feel, it's almost like it's soaring crane. So you're breathing in, you're expanding the rib cage, you're expanding the chest, and then you're softening and contracting. But it's not a pulling breath in and expanding in a forceful way. It's very much the movement and the breath combined together to create a very nice, smooth, fluid movement and a smooth, fluid breathing. Let's do a couple more. Breath in. And breath out. Expand and lift from the crown. Soaring eagle. Breath out. Nice. And take a rest. Should feel your shoulders working there, your upper back working, your neck working. Give yourself a little shake if you need a little shake. And then our next flow, this is the flow that we practiced last week in the 5-element flow practice. This is Buddha holds up the earth. It's still a metal element. And whilst this movement was almost like forwards and back with the breath, it's almost like opening the chest, opening the back, opening the chest, opening the back. This is more up and down with the breath. So palms facing up. We'll go through the movement first. You just bring the palms to chest height. And then it's like you're holding up the earth. So you just lift, hold up the earth, and then back down the center line. Just practice that movement a few times. So spine extends, body expands, and then contracts. Expands. And softens. Let's go with the breath. Breath in. And breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Light, slow breath, deep breath. The key to breathing is breathing to our metabolic needs, i.e. just breathe the right amount of air that your body needs. If you breathe too much, you can end up over-breathing. And over-breathing is bad for the health, just as overeating, drinking too much is as well. So just breathe light, effortlessly. Do less. Breath in. Couple more. Nice, and take a rest. Just a couple of pointers on that one. Didn't notice it so much this week sitting, but last week on Zoom, what I did notice, there's a few people just really reaching up, almost like pressing up too far. So it's almost like hoiking the shoulders and straightening the arms. So a little bit of overreaching there. So there's elbows are soft here. There's a little bit of roundness in the elbows. The shoulders are down. So if you did have a very heavy weight in your hands there, you wouldn't be up there with it like this, because that would be, you'd just lose your balance. It would be down here. You'd be really letting the shoulders set down there. And also, I quite like that little bit of stretch through the fingers, particularly through that thumb and that index finger again. These are the long points when we're doing breath out here. So stretching through that thumb to actually create a little bit of openness here, I really like. So that really gives that little bit of stretch through the fingers. So just watch that. It's very easy just to hoik the shoulders. Keep the shoulders down there. Okay, take a little rest for a moment. Let's do that flow, those two movements, just in silence. So just following me. Again, just breathe easy with it. If you can breathe with the movement, breathe with the movement. If not, then just follow the movement. So we'll start off arms to the side, soaring eagle. So all in silence. And we'll just close our practice with pulling down the sky. So arms come up, palms facing up, elbows bend. Bringing the palms, crossing the palms together, just resting on your belly. Just closing your eyes for a few seconds. Centering the breath, so just feel how the belly responds to the in-breath. As you breathe in, a little bit of expansion. As you breathe out, softening and contraction. Effortless breathing, you're just allowing the body to breathe naturally, not forcing, not pushing. And then you can take a fuller breath in. Top of that in-breath, open up your eyes, give your hands a little bit of a rub. Nice, well done. Good, so you can do lots of practice just sitting. And I really emphasize that this works for anybody, so don't feel as if you're overreaching. Just go to that point where you feel comfortable with the rotation stuff, with that lateral flexion, and with the flows. Just do one or two, and you'll soon find that the more you practice, the more quite quickly you can get that little bit more flexibility, that little bit of more movement in the body. And particularly if you're working with the breath as well, there's such a connection between movement and breath. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. On Thursday, we'll be going through the 5-element flow practice again. So this is what we worked on last week on our 5-day challenge. We'll work through that practice so you can have a little practice of that again as well. On Friday, I've got a great lunch and learn with Panagiotis, who I'm doing the Greek, the Naxos retreat with in September. He's going to be looking at strength training, so that'll be really good stuff to join in. It's a free lunch and learn, 1 o'clock on Friday lunchtime. I'll pop a link to that underneath here. Saturday, Unlock the Power of Breath workshop at 12 o'clock. That's free if you are Breathe, Balance, Move members, or it's £29 if you're not premium members. And then I've also got a 3-week Get the Oxygen Advantage course starting online on Saturday at 2 o'clock as well. So there's plenty of stuff to get involved in, but hopefully I will see you on Thursday as well before the weekend. Have a great time. Have a good day. Thanks for joining. Cheers. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.